Blink and you'll miss it. Life is short. Calm down, slow down. It's not that serious. Enjoy the moment. Before you realize it, you'll blink and you're 40 with kids and a mortgage. These are all things that I've heard my whole entire life. And before your eyes is the perfect catalyst to show us it in a game form. They take those simple, stereotypical answers that parents and relatives who are older will give you, and they run with it. And they do such a good job at it. Before your eyes, you play in the first person following Benjamin, and you see his life, and you see him in the afterlife. You see him at the beginning of his life, and then sadly at the very end, and you care about this character. So when you arrive at the afterlife, at the very beginning of the game, you will meet a ferryman. And the ferryman is basically this canine wolf guy who, think of him kind of as your lawyer in the afterlife. He wants to know your whole entire life to plead your story to the judge / God of this game. And you get to see Benjamin's life. You get to see the good moments, the bad moments, the kind of cute / embarrassing moments, but also the sad moments and what eventually leads up to his death. And you see how much pain he's in leading up to it, and you really care about him. And it's sad, and it's loving, and you'll smile, and you'll laugh, and you'll cry, and I know I did, but that's this game in a nutshell. This game is only an hour long, and that's really the only negative thing about it. And I wish it was a little bit longer, but at the same time, I'm happy that it's not. I'm happy that the developers decided to slow it down and keep it short and sweet instead of dragging it along and keeping us into a story that, well, sadly won't hit as hard as this one. And I gotta say, this story was a slam dunk, home run, fucking hat trick of a game. I loved every moment of it. When you're a child and you see him trying to pick up the piano for the first time, to then a couple blinks later, you're a master at it or a child prodigy at it. Oh, and that's another thing, gameplay-wise. This game uses a very interesting and unique mechanic that I personally have never experienced before in any game, and I think that this is one of the first games to do it. I could be wrong, but I love it. It uses blinking as the way to move the story forward. Not clicking on the mouse or pressing a special key on the keyboard, literally blinking. You set up a camera, a webcam, and it tracks your face. And every single time you blink in real life, it continues the game along. Now I know what you're thinking. Do I need a webcam to play this game? No, don't worry. The devs got you hooked. They figured it out. But it's recommended that you play the game with a webcam to get the full effect of it. Because like I said before, this game is really trying to show you, hey, if you blink, you'll miss it. And that's the truth. There were so many times through this game where I blinked while a character was talking that I got mad at myself. And I didn't get to see the whole entire story, and it sucked. And I got so mad that I kept talking to myself, or I kept talking in my head, that I didn't hear the beginning parts of the other story that was playing. And then I kind of got into that rhythm. So you have to slow down, and you have to really think about what's going on. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be times where you blink and you're just kind of not going to really know what's going on in the overall story. But the game does an amazing way of making sure each little segment is unique to its own segment, but also giving you enough background information to what's going on so that you're not completely lost. And this game sounds amazing. Each stage or chapter of your life has a unique sound to it. When you're a little kid, everything's whimsical. When you're hanging out with Chloe, your neighbor / best friend or first love, depending on which one you choose, it's fun and it's whimsical also. But later on in the game, when it's more serious moments, the music gets a little bit scarier and gets a little bit darker and really pushes that narrative of, hey, this was a traumatic event that happened in your life. I'm sorry you had to go through this, but to tell the story in the afterlife, we need to go through it again. And that's the beauty of it. The game knows how to evoke these emotions out of you. And somehow, in an hour and a half of gaming, this game was able to do what some games can't do 30 hours long. And that's to have you care about the characters. I cared about Benjamin. And I cared about his relationship with his mom, his relationship with his dad, his relationship with his cat, his relationship with Chloe, his neighbor. And to see him at the end to die, it really affected me. I mean, literally, you'll see right now that at the end of the game, when they're telling his life story, I'm crying so much that the game is skipping from one character telling the story to my mom telling the story. And that's such a beautiful thing. This game deserves this rating that I'm about to give it, and it will be the catalyst and benchmark for all other 10 out of 10s, because that's what it is. It is a 10 out of 10. This game hits all the marks. Gameplay wise, it's unique. Soundtrack wise, it hits all the moments that it needs to hit. Looking wise, character wise, it hits. This game is amazing. Definitely go support these indie devs. These guys are killing it right now. Go buy before your eyes right now. It's $10 on Steam. You could probably find a sale for it in a couple months. The game just came out. Definitely check it out. Buy it. It's 100% a 10 out of 10.